Today, we delve into the fascinating intersection of artificial intelligence and auditing. Is it a battle of man versus machine or a powerful collaboration of man with machine? As AI continues to transform audit practices, it challenges us to rethink traditional methods, enhance precision, and unlock new possibilities. Let's explore how the blend of human insight and advanced technology is shaping the future of auditing. I'm honored to welcome you all to Knowledge Session 1, focusing on AI in auditing. This session promises to explore the transformative impact of artificial intelligence on audit practices. It is now my pleasure to introduce the luminaries who will illuminate us with their expertise. Our esteemed session chairperson, CA Nandan Rao will guide us through this session along with the paper presenters who will share their noteworthy perspectives on AI in auditing. I now request CA Prashant Paike to escort our esteemed session chairperson, CA Nandan Rao and our paper presenters to the dais. May I now request CA Prashant Paike to extend a warm welcome to our session chairperson and distinguished paper presenters. As a gesture of respect and goodwill, we offer this sapling, a living symbol of knowledge and growth. May your presence today sow the seeds of inspiration for everyone gathered here. Thank you, sir. It is now my privilege to introduce our eminent session chairperson, CA Nandan Rao a renowned expert in auditing. Sir will bring his extensive experience and insightful perspectives to our discussion today. An accomplished chartered accountant and a forward-looking professional, CA Nandan is committed to redefining the role of technology in the accounting domain. A partner at Anish and Nandan Chartered Accountants, Mangaluru, he heads the Surathkal branch and brings with him a robust blend of technical expertise and practical experience in business consultancy, corporate compliances, and the integration of AI in financial systems. A distinguished rank holder, securing AIR 40 in the CA final November 2019 examinations. He has continually demonstrated excellence in both academic and professional spheres. His innovative mindset was further recognized when he secured the third place in the National ICAI AI Hackathon Season 2 for developing a cutting-edge AI-enabled client query management solutions and frameworks for AI-driven CA office setups. Beyond his professional practice, he is a passionate educator and speaker, having delivered over 1,000 hours of lectures and trained more than 1,300 students in subjects ranging from corporate law to enterprise information systems and statistics. His teaching spans across ICI programs, advanced ITT sessions, and leading academic institutions. He is also a well-versed ERP implementation, fintech automation, and tools such as Zoho, Odoo, Power BI, and ChatGPT. His deep understanding of both finance and technology makes him a valuable voice in the evolving landscape of the profession. Sir, we are delighted to have you with us. We have also gathered a talented group of paper presenters who will share their proficiency on various aspects of AI in auditing. Our first presenter is Ms. Lenora Rodrigues, currently pursuing her articleship at Vasan and Sampath, Bengaluru. She secured a rank in BCom Professional at St. Aloysius College, Mangaluru, and cleared her CA Intermediate in the first attempt, scoring an exemption in auditing with 74 marks. She's also a passionate public speaker and was recognized the best speaker during her CA orientation. Today, she will speak on AI plus auditors equals synergy, a new era of smarter, faster audits, exploring how auditors and AI can collaborate to enhance audit quality and efficiency. Please join me in welcoming Lenora. The floor is yours.
AI won't replace auditors, but auditors who use AI will definitely replace those who don't. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about unlocking a new dimension of insights, enabling smarter, faster audits and stronger assurance. A very good morning to the session moderator, my fellow paper presenters, and to everyone present here. Won't replace auditors, but auditors who use AI will definitely replace those who don't. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about unlocking a new dimension of insights, enabling smarter and faster audits. A very good morning to the session moderator, my fellow paper presenters, and to everyone present here. Today, we are going to dive into a topic that's probably on the back of everyone's minds. AI plus auditors equal to synergy, a new era of smarter, faster audits. Let's begin with a quick thought experiment. I am pretty sure many of you may have had a late night existential moment where you would have thought, could a robot probably do my job better than me? Exactly. That's a valid question. The audit profession, like so many others, is undergoing a profound transformation. We have come a long way from manual paper-based audits to computer-assisted audit techniques, the digital audits in the 2000s, and now we are firmly in the AI age of financial reporting. AI isn't just a buzzword. It's here to change how audits are being planned and performed. But before we pack our calculators and say goodbye, let's be clear. AI may be fast, powerful, and tireless, but it's definitely not here to steal your place. So where exactly does AI shine? How does it help to supercharge us auditors? Think about a full population analysis. Gone are the days of random sampling. AI enables us to analyze the entire general ledger, every invoice, every journal entry. This helps in better coverage, better anomaly detection, and stronger assurance. Then there's speed and scale. AI can extract data from PDFs, reconcile accounts, and run thousands of tests instantly, while we'd probably be still logging into Excel. For instance, the Indian Income Tax Department is already using AI to detect fraudulent HRA claims. This leads to enhanced risk focus. With AI doing the heavy lifting, auditors can start their risk assessment at a much higher level and dive into problem areas first. Leading audit firms like Deloitte with Omnia and PwC with Aura are already making use of these advanced audit tools to enhance audit quality and efficiency and provide a more tailored client experience. But all this just sounds like theory, right? No, it's not. In 2024, the US Treasury was able to identify and prevent over $1 billion in fraud by leveraging AI. AI is a real game changer for natural language processing. It can scan contracts, board minutes, and emails for red flags. Not to say this replaces human reading, but it helps us auditors zero in on relevant passages much faster. So from what I've said so far, it's pretty clear, right? AI offers incredible opportunities, but that doesn't mean it is unstoppable. Let's have a quick activity. A client has a perfectly clean digital ledger. All the transactions have been recorded correctly, but they have been consistently selling high value goods for cash, and the same is not being recorded in the system, instead diverted by a few employees. Do you think AI only on the basis of the digital ledger would be able to crack this? Not really. An auditor's professional judgment and ability to observe would definitely be crucial here. That brings us to the challenges of complete reliance on AI. Firstly, data quality and bias. AI is as good as the data it ingests. If the data is incomplete or has inconsistencies, the analysis will be flawed. Now, we all know that auditing isn't just number crunching, it's people watching. Auditors read body language, build relationships with client, and ask probing questions. I think many of you remember the 2023 Adani Group case, right? Allegations of stock manipulations were flagged not by algorithms, but by a human short seller. You may wonder why. That is because AI's pattern matching brain wouldn't find this very suspicious. Ethical judgments and skepticism. Professional skepticism is the golden compass of audit. Auditors question assumptions, management bias, and assess gray areas. AI, it rather prefers black and white, doesn't get into the gray. The world is unpredictable. Wars, pandemics, supply chain chaos can impact audit considerations in ways no algorithm can anticipate. As auditors, we adapt, investigate, and recalibrate. Let's quickly dive into two real-life scenarios, reiterating the points I have just talked about. How many of you may have heard about the 2024 Paytm Payment Bank crisis? I am pretty sure you all may have. Auditors saw trouble not just in the numbers, but in evasive responses to RBI queries. AI is great at rule following, not so much at rule questioning. Can AI detect when a CFO is bluffing? Definitely not yet. Next, the viral ChatGPT code case. Many of you may have heard of this. How US lawyers were fined for submitting fake legal citations generated by ChatGPT. The broader lesson here, AI can hallucinate by generating fake yet convincing content. So, what are some of the scenarios where AI alone can fail? Let's rewind back to 2020, the Luckin Coffee scandal. A company which had AI tools, however, a $300 million fraud was uncovered by a human whistleblower. Why so? Because fraudsters are creative. They invent new tricks which probably AI has never seen. Accounting standards, tax reforms, data regulations are not static. AI doesn't instantly understand these changes unless they are retrained or reprogrammed. This is where an auditor's professional judgment, contextual understanding, and interpretation of law would be crucial. Context and culture. Business decisions aren't made in a vacuum. A seemingly normal transaction may raise red flags in one way or another. You all may have heard about the Byju's probe over FEMA violations. Auditors saw that there were issues in the ledgers, but beyond that, there was a chaotic culture, aggressive sales tactics, and whispers from ex-employees. No algorithm could have anticipated the storm that was brewing internally. Your ability to read between the lines and sense when something is off, now that is real CA magic. So the future of audit is definitely man with machine and not man versus machine. AI enhances audits by taking over repetitive tasks while you are able to work smartly. But when it comes to understanding ethics, culture, and creativity, don't worry, we auditors still rule the boardroom. Audit automation is not a future trend, it's the reality of today. Now, you may wonder what we as auditors can do to enable a great partnership with AI. Here are some tips. Firstly, staying tech savvy. Using AI tools such as ICS CA GPT may help us unlock more value. Combine strengths. Allow AI to take over routine while you can think critically and connect with clients. Hone your human skills. AI doesn't have skills like ethics and empathy. Make them your sharpest tools. And use AI responsibly. Know AI's limits. Stay transparent, accountable, and be aware of bias. Consider AI like a GPS. It will show you the shortest route, but you would still require someone behind the wheel. So, to conclude, the next time someone asks you, can AI replace auditors? I think you can just say, not until clients stop being human. Thank you.
We appreciate your thoughtful and informative presentation, Lenora. Your discussion on the synergy between auditors and AI systems was truly enlightening, and your examples provided a clear understanding of how this collaboration can enhance audit quality and efficiency. Our next speaker is Ms. Suprita Suresh Pujari, a CA finalist and articled assistant at Nayak and Associates, Chartered Accountants, Udpi. Alongside her academic dedication, she is creatively inclined with interests in dancing, cooking, traveling, and drawing. A truly well-rounded individual. With a strong interest in emerging trends and professional innovation, she brings a fresh perspective to a topic that is shaping the future of our profession. Today, she will be presenting her research on AI Takes the Lead, How Global Audit Firms Are Embracing the Future. Her presentation highlights how leading audit firms worldwide are integrating artificial intelligence into their methodologies, transforming traditional audits into smarter, more efficient practices. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Suprita with a big round of applause. Over to you, Suprita.
Hello, everyone. Have you ever misplaced your phone and you start checking under the table and you start checking under the sofa, but you don't find it and you still go blank? Then someone suddenly suggests, why don't you call? And that's when you call and you hear the buzzing sound under the table. That's where you least expect it. That's the thing, my dear friends. Like we focus more on things that is done manually and not on the smarter way. Likewise in auditing. Like auditing is usually done through manual sampling, checking papers, going for paper by paper, just like we are checking phone in every corner of the house. Now we can call the problems directly, and that's, my dear friend, is artificial intelligence. Good morning, everyone. I am Suprita Pujari, pursuing my articleship from Nayak and Associates, Chartered Accountants, Udpi. Today, I am here to talk on the topic AI Takes the Lead, Global Auditing Embracing the Future, and how global auditing firms are integrating AI into their audit methodologies. These are the contexts that I'm going to take you through. Before we start, a quick show of hands. How many of you have used ChatGPT, Gemini, or any AI tool in the last week? Yeah, most of us, right? Yes, it is very helpful in generating ideas or drafting mails, and it has been our friends in our routine days, right? So now, auditing, AI is also entering into the field of auditing. The profession, which is considered to be something serious and regulated, is reimagined through artificial intelligence. Auditing then versus now. Let me give you an example of Maya, a senior audit associate in the year 2016. She used to spend her weekend scanning through bulk of journal entries, figuring out unusual transactions, and working day and night, relying on her gut instinct and experience. Today, Maya still works hard, but her work looks completely different. The review that took her 3 days can now be completed within just 3 minutes. AI flags what's unusual. Maya investigates why. And that's the shift, my dear friends, we are seeing in the world of auditing. The dance bank scandal or missed opportunity. It's a real story, my dear friends. Let me take you through the scandal. Happened in the heart of Europe. Danske Bank is one of the largest banks in the Denmark, situated in the branch, Estonia. Flowed $230 billion in suspicious transactions over the year of 8 years, from 2007 to 2015. But guess what, friends? No one recognized it. Neither the internal auditor, nor the statutory auditor, and not even the compliances. Why? Because they were more focused on checking samples. They were more focused on checking reports, going through paper by paper, and not checking the scandal was misplaced in such a way that the reporting transaction limit, the transaction that was happening was just below the reporting transaction limit. If AI could have been in place, my dear friends, it would have definitely figured it out. It could have flagged the abnormal payment pattern. It could have even detected suspicious clients that were there, that were involved in the scandal. It could have noticed the transaction that has happened just below the threshold limits. So, my dear friends, if artificial intelligence was there, definitely it could have screamed. But did we have the system to recognize it? No, we didn't have. And that's why we need a change in auditing, and AI has to enter. Now, my dear friends, why firm invest in artificial intelligence? Because it scans 100% data, not just 100 manual samplings. It removes biases, it never gets tired, and it is very successful in flagging fraud zones in a real-time basis. How the Big Four use AI? KPMG uses Clara. Clara is a combination of both Google Sheets, Power BI, and a smart audit manager. It takes data from client system. Both auditors and customers can see live dashboards. For example, auditing a chain of 200 retail stores. Clara will detect which store has high return rates, which store has increase in expenses in a real-time basis. Helix. EY uses Helix, and it is a tool, it is an artificial intelligence that helps to deal with complex and detailed documents. You need not go through each and every clause in the contract, in the term. Helix will do that for you. For example, if you give it 100 telecom letter or telecom words, it will flag contracts missing timelines or risky as per in AS 15. Deloitte uses Argus and Cortex. Argus is just like Helix. It reads and highlights risk in contracts. And Cortex acts as a prediction engine. It provides heat map of likely fraud zones. Just like a Google map shows weather, Cortex helps us to, figure out where the fraud is happening. PwC uses GL AI and Aura. GLAI act as a detective. It scans journal entries, it flags rounded numbers that may lead to fraud, backdated entries, and entries that have been posted after the business hours or on Sundays. Aura is the main audit platform. It manages workflows, risks, and reviews. Now let's delve into the key AI technology in auditing. NLP, natural language processing. It understands human language. Imagine, when human talks to us, we understand, we reciprocate. In the same way, if we want to talk to computer, we need to do that with natural language processing. And Helix is the best example for that. Robotic process automation. It is a software robots that automate repetitive tasks. For example, if you want to copy pasting works or matching ledgers or report generation, whatever the work that we do. Machine learning. Machine learning is an artificial intelligence that helps you to learn, that helps machines to learn from data, just like human beings learn from experience. Predictive analytics, it is a combination of both data, maths, and machine learning. It forecast high-risk areas, it forecasts revenues, etc. Advantages of auditing. It's speed. Just like the examples that I had given earlier, the work that took 3 days for her could now be completed just within 3 minutes. It covers 100% transaction scanning and no more audit samplings. It detects fraud very easily. It never gets tired and distracted just like we human beings do, so it follows consistency. It allows dashboards to have real-time insights. Limitations of AI in auditing. First thing is lack of judgment. AI identifies what, but why? AI doesn't know. It's we human auditor who has to figure it out. It's our interpretation skills that prevails over. It acts as a black box algorithm sometimes because even developers fail to understand why AI has decided the certain way. Bias in data. If you put an incomplete data or biased data, you'll definitely get the incomplete results. High setup costs, definitely. It's not for free of cost. It requires rigorous investments in training and anything else. Over-reliance. If at all, human auditor is trying or it's thinking to completely depend on AI, then definitely it's not possible because it can hinder critical thinking. Our role as future auditor. We auditor are only known for knowing Ind AS, accounting standards, vouching. But now we are supposed to read dashboards. We are supposed to be well equipped with Power BI, Tableau, understand AI tools, and apply judgment for the decisions made by artificial intelligence, and collaborate with data team and analytics experts. To conclude, it's man with machine and not man versus machine. Because AI can give you 100%, AI can check 100% data, it can scan 100% data in a while, but it's human mind that ultimately decide why AI has chosen that data. So our professional skepticism, critical thinking will always prevail. So as Satya Nadella rightly said, AI is not here to replace us. AI amplifies what makes us human. So let's lead with AI. Let's not fear AI. Let's be the auditor who thinks, adopt. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Thank you, Mangalo Sikasa, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Suprita, for your engaging presentation. Your research on how global audit firms are integrating AI into their methodologies was fascinating. And that was a brilliant overview into the future of auditing. Moving forward, we have Mr. H. Nikhil Shenoy, an articled assistant currently pursuing his articleship under CA P. Narendra Pai in Mangaluru. He served as a member of Sikasa Mangaluru for the term 2024-2025 and aspires to build a career in equity research with a strong passion for financial markets. He recently completed a 100-day LinkedIn challenge where he shared daily insights on the Indian quick commerce industry and is currently conducting research on Eternal Limited. Today, he will present on the topic, how can AI tools improve the efficiency of audit planning and risk assessment procedures? His presentation will highlight how AI can enhance key audit functions and improve overall effectiveness. Let's give a warm round of applause to welcome Nikhil.
Gave us कहानी हर इंजीनियर की. भुवन बाम gave us कहानी हर मिडिल क्लास फैमिली की. So भाइयों और उनकी प्यारी बहनों, brace yourselves as today this CA वाला in collaboration with the Life is Useless Club brings to you कहानी हर CA ऑफिस की. Greetings to all the dignitaries seated, Session Chairman Nandan Rao sir, and my co-presenters, and of course, the lovely audience gathered here today. I am Nikhil Shenoy, and my topic for today is how can AI tools improve efficiency in audit planning and risk assessment procedures. Well, to start with, let's hear the story of every CA office. In CA offices, Jan to June is like Satyug, very peaceful. But however, from June to December, it's Kalyug, chaos everywhere and waiting to get worse. Vouching becomes your second language. And as a great teacher once said, AUDIT, audit. All you do is tick. And just when all those paperworks are about to bury you, suddenly, here comes our superstar with swag in his every move, artificial intelligence. And now, let's go on a honeymoon/audit trip with AI. And hey, I'm looking a bit nervous, but it's only because it's my first honeymoon trip. First client for the day, Titarpur E-Commerce Private Limited. Practically speaking, there are billions of transactions across millions of categories, and not to mention the subcategories. Performing stratified random sampling here would look like this. Titar ke aage do titar, titar ke piche do titar, and after doing titar for days or even weeks, you will finally get to say, ab bol. Kitne titar? And instead, you rely on AI. It finds red flags instantly and helps you give a better and form a better view of the data given in front of you. But remember, every fraud is an anomaly or has a pattern. But not every anomaly or a pattern is a fraud. As auditors, you should know how to identify and differentiate between the two. And next client, Tiger Shroff Manufacturing Works. We are doing stock audit of this company. The company deals in two product lines, War and Bhagi. As auditors, we check physical stock balance and balance as per the software and see if it's matching. And if there is any damaged or spoiled goods, we'd make provision for loss. That's all right. But AI takes it a step further. It analyzes demand, seasonality, and public reviews, etc., etc., etc. And the AI finds that companies focusing more on Bhagi, which has close to no demand, and is not focusing on War instead. But hey, this looks like a problem a business consultant is supposed to solve. How does it matter to me as an auditor? Well, if the company keeps focusing on Bhagi, it will eventually invest a significant amount of funds into it, and it may not have enough funds to run its own operations next year, which impacts the going concern assumption of the business. And that is why it is irrelevant to us. When we take this to management, they say, sir, don't worry. We have our investor, Mr. Jackie Shroff, who will help us during liquidity crunch. And then Mr. Jackie sir enters and say, दूर से देखा तो कंपनी का परफॉर्मेंस बहुत ही कच्चा था. दूर से देखा तो कंपनी का परफॉर्मेंस बहुत ही कच्चा था, पर लेकिन गौर से देखा था तो ओ ये तो मेरा वाला बच्चा था. See, even Tiger Shroff is asking, अबे छोटी बच्ची हो क्या मैनेजमेंट? But Jackie sir says, तू मेरा वाला बच्चा है ब्रो, मेरा वाला बच्चा है बीडू. Next client, the Quality Limited, the dairy prince which was never crowned. The books were perfect. Analysts were giving buy calls over buy calls, and the books, Chummeshwari. Or is it? Well, ever since the previous auditor quit, my principal kept saying, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है दया, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. And so, long story short, we are here to check if that gadbad is there or not. We feed the common size balance sheet of Quality Limited to AI to conduct risk assessment. And it flags receivables as very high risk. The reason being that it has significant amount of funds invested in receivables. If you can see in March 14, they have 75% trade receivables. And why is it strange? It's because it's operating in a dairy industry, an industry where payments are made upfront by customers. And it doesn't make sense for company to have such high trade receivables. And that too unusually high from the industry benchmark as well. And not just that, the trade receivables were growing faster than the sales itself. But hey, this is not a red flag. No, not a red flag. This is a full parade of red flags, yeah? And debtor days are also 90 to 100 days. Does it make sense? No. And as fate would have it, we as auditors, we analyzed using AI the sales transaction and the transactions between debtors. And as we went deeper and deeper and deeper, we find that the company never had any debtors at all. The debtors never existed. Not just that, the sales they reported was actually never happened as well. And when this information came out, the stock price gave a one-sided crash. And it got delisted in 2021. Even now, ED, Enforcement Directorate, is after the ex-promoters of Quality Limited for defrauding a consortium of 10 banks for 1,400 crores of money. Had AI been used during the audit of Quality Limited in 2014, this could have prevented not just destruction of investor wealth, but also the depositors the people who deposited their money in these banks. Throughout these three audits, auditor and AI duo were like this, and like, okay, maybe not this, it looks wrong in too many ways. Those who have seen these two duos batting, they can vouch for this. When they were playing separately, they were legends. But when they were playing together, they were unstoppable. Have you ever wished that these guys would play like they did in 2015 and 2016 IPL season every year? Well, that's AI. That's what AI and auditor can be if an auditor is able to bring out full potential of AI. To conclude with, I would like to say that AI does not replace professional skepticism. It redirects it to where it matters the most. AI doesn't replace judgment. It replaces judgment errors. AI doesn't make you jobless. It will make the lazy person obsolete and the smart person unstoppable. AI is not biased, but the data you feed it might be. So protect the quality and accuracy of data as you would protect your lover. So my final question to you guys, are you guys ready to ride this new wave of change? Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil, for your informative presentation. Your discussion on the potential of AI tools to improve audit planning and risk assessment procedures was truly insightful. The examples brought clarity to a complex topic by demonstrating the practical applications of AI in auditing. Lastly, we have Ms. Chaitanya S. Vaidya, currently pursuing her articleship at Gautam Nayak & Co. She cleared her CA Intermediate in her very first attempt, a clear reflection of her commitment and capability. Beyond academics, she brings a vibrant mix of talents. She's an engaging public speaker, an experienced event host, and even performs stand-up comedy, a unique blend that adds confidence, charisma, and relatability to her presence. Today, she will present on a topic that looks ahead to the future of our profession. In what ways can AI reshape the role of auditors in the future financial reporting ecosystem? Her presentation will explore how AI is transforming the auditor's role from traditional compliance to strategic insight. Please join me in welcoming Chaitanya.
Niyavam Siram Asti, Parivartane Jagada Niyama, which means that change alone is constant. This ancient wisdom holds true even in the world of auditing. Did you know that the roots of auditing trace back to ancient India? During the Mauryan Empire, the legendary economist Chanakya had already laid the foundations of financial scrutiny, what we today call as auditing. From scrolls to spreadsheets and now to sophisticated AI tools. As auditing evolved, the role of the auditor has also evolved drastically. And now, with AI entering the scene, a key question arises. In what ways will AI reshape the role of the auditors in future financial reporting ecosystem? Hello everyone, I am Chaitanya Vaidya and let's take a deep dive into how AI is not just supporting auditors but redefining their very role. First, let us compare the role of the auditors in traditional versus in AI-driven audits. In traditional audits, auditors relied on sample-based testing. That is, the auditor could do inky, pinky, ponky, select any random sample, complete the audit. But this possesses a risk that the sample may not be truly representative of the population. Audit trails were manually maintained, which not only increases the chances of human error, but auditor will have to spend significant time in verifying its accuracy. Audits were conducted on periodic basis, that is on fixed intervals, which means that the errors could go unnoticed for long periods. Ye hai aam zindagi. Now comes the era of AI-driven audits, where the auditor can go for full data analysis. Auditor need not rely on sample-based testing, and which increases the reliability of the conclusions. Audit trails are automated, where a secure and real-time record of the transactions is maintained, which shifts the auditor's focus from manually tracing to high-level transactions. Auditing can now be continuous or real-time, which ensures that the errors are detected and responded as and when they occur and not after the damage is done. Ye hai Mentos wali zindagi. With this comparison, we have already understood how AI is transforming the core audit functions. Now, let us move on to some advanced roles and responsibilities of the auditor and how AI transforms it. The first one would be auditor should embrace AI as a tool for decision support. Instead of viewing AI as a replacement, the auditor should see it as a tool for decision support. He should possess analytical mindset, should have agile thinking, that is the ability to shift the thinking as and when the situation requires. He should understand the technologies and the risk involved. And the most important of all, the auditor should have the willingness to learn continuously and adapt to newer technologies. Once the auditor has embraced AI, the next step would be choosing a responsible AI. The Government of India, in its AI for All initiative, has emphasized the importance of responsible AI. So what is a responsible AI? These are those systems that are free from bias, respectful of privacy, and made for societal benefit. The auditor's role in the future will include assessing the AI on these parameters before implementing it. Securing audits. Auditors should design and implement risk assessment framework, conduct regular security audits, and implement data security policies. Another key change would be team composition and collaboration. Auditing in the era of AI will no longer be a solo discipline. Auditor will have to collaborate with data scientists, cybersecurity experts, and IT professionals. This will help in analyzing the complex data and also helps in the choosing of right data sets. To prepare for the future, auditor should go for upskilling. That is, he should upgrade his skills in the following dimensions. Technological adaptability. That is, the ability to adapt to newer technologies. Data analytics proficiency. High data analytics skills will be required to interpret the complex data. Cybersecurity proficiency. Auditor should have a strong understanding of the cybersecurity practices. Auditor should go towards continuous professional development and lifelong learning. This could be through seminars, workshops, certification programs, peer learning, and practical experience. Auditors of tomorrow should be tech savvy and not tech dependent. Okay, so how many of us here are literate? Raise your hands. Everybody, right? Mangalore, sir. 100% literacy, sir. But how many of us are technologically literate? Raise your hands. Very few. So being technologically literate doesn't mean that we have to be coding expert. But a basic understanding of how the technology works will help us ask informed questions and take the right decisions. Another change, think of AI as a microscope, which helps us dwell deeper into the financial data. However, the human judgment of the auditor will remain important as it was before. Another change in the role of the auditor would be enhanced transparency and explainability. A major problem of AI is a black box problem, where the complex AI tools, especially those based on deep learning, provide the outputs without knowing how they arrived at those outputs. So, the auditor is expected to explain the rationale behind the outputs, which increases the trust in the audit. Another change in the role would be public awareness and advocating for ethical AI. As with AI, the audit is becoming borderless and digital, where an auditor has a digital presence than just a local one, which brings a new responsibility, advocating for ethical AI. Auditors should increase public awareness about transparency, fairness, reliability, and accountability of the AI systems. Now, we have understood how AI is transforming the auditor. Now, let us see what remains constant in the role of the auditor even in the future. Human judgment. AI can never replace the human judgment. AI is just a decision-making support, not the decision maker. It is the auditor who will have to assess the outputs within the scope of the audit and provide the conclusions. Maintaining professional skepticism. Auditor will have to analyze the outputs, evaluate the potential biases or errors, and understand the system's limitations. Communication and collaboration will remain important even in the future. He will have to collaborate with data scientists, management, stakeholders, etc. Clear and transparent communication will help align the goals and helps in increasing the trust and transparency in the audit. Now, let us see what should the auditor not do in the future financial reporting ecosystem. Over-relying on AI. The role of the auditor does not end with adopting AI, but it extends to using it wisely, critically, and ethically. So here is what a future-ready auditor must avoid. The auditor must not blindly trust the AI's conclusions. Professional judgment will remain important. Overlooking AI's limitations. Auditors should not assume that AI is flawless. He should know the biases, the assumptions, the limitations, and the technologies used. Skipping validation and testing. Adopting AI without proper validation and testing can compromise the audit quality. Auditors should conduct regular tests, calibrate the system, and review the system before adopting it. Shifting accountability to the technology. Accountability of the audit will remain with the auditor, not with the algorithm. Accountability cannot be outsourced. I would like to conclude by saying that in the future, the role of the auditor will not be confined to verification and compliance, but it will extend to strategic thinking, ethical leadership, and technological awareness. The question will no longer remain, how will AI reshape auditing, but how well we as auditors reshape ourselves alongside it. Thank you.
For your thought-provoking presentation. It was an eye-opening talk into the potential impact of AI on the role of auditors in the future financial reporting ecosystem, and your discussion on the need for auditors to adapt to changing technologies was timely. We sincerely appreciate our paper presenters for their valuable contributions. Now, I invite CA Nandan Rao to share his expert feedback on the session.
Good afternoon, everyone. Being a chairperson to a knowledge session is a pretty easy job. All I need to do now is do some vimarshe. So, continuing with the theme, what I am thinking of is I have some thoughts which were running in my mind and also while I was listening to the paper presenters. So, I would like to use this opportunity to have a discussion on the thoughts that I have. And in the meantime, I'll throw the questions at the paper presenters and I would like to take your inputs on that and I'll like to summarize the entire discussion. So my first question being, when was the first time the word AI was used? Anyone can volunteer to answer. If not, I'll take the privilege to answer that. It might surprise you to know that the word AI for the first time was used in the year 1956. And we are right now in 2025. So the conceptualization of AI was done way back in 1956. But it is gaining hype and gaining relevance right now. So that is my next question. Why is it that this decade is being called the decade of AI? Let's think about this for a minute. We right now are looking into tools which are much smarter than computers, right? That is, after all, what is AI. We are here because of e-commerce. Now, what e-commerce did to the commerce field is that now think about any business. They will receive orders through multiple platforms. It can be through their website, it can be through WhatsApp or any of the social media channels. It can also be physical stores. Now, a few years earlier, all the sales invoices would be generated through a physical bill book or maybe one invoicing tool which would help you raise the invoices. But now we are in a place where we are doing multi-layered reconciliation. Why do I say so? You get a database from your social media platforms, you get a database from your website, you have a database of your invoicing software, which all needs to be matched. That is when you arrive at your final sales figure, right? When we are living in such a dynamic world, any software which is rule-driven would fail and would need some intelligence of its own to understand the connection between multiple layers that are there to the business. Fueled with the internet revolution that India has seen from 2017 onwards, all of this has made the commerce world so dynamic that we are dealing with a situation where in a second of time, any guesses about the UPI transaction that takes place in the country? Per second. 1 trillion rupees. 1 trillion rupees. Now, when I say 1 trillion, this is not the GDP figure. Don't get me wrong. This is the exchange of value that takes place on a daily basis. I'm not speaking about the monetary value, it's about the exchange of value that takes place. So that is the scale of transaction that is happening in India. Now my next question goes to Lenora. Lenora, you spoke about AI and auditors and you concluded that it is an era of man with machines, right? We all know that the job of auditor is to give a reasonable assurance on the financial statement. While we think of a full population analysis, do you think our role in the future will be to provide an absolute assurance, or can we still continue to give a reasonable assurance? You can take the mic. You can please be seated.
Even if there's a full population analysis, I don't think we can give absolute assurance considering other limitations, saying the data that we have or other factors. So it wouldn't change the assurance we give, but we can be more sure of the opinion that we do. It might be a more reasonable assurance than what we have right now.
Great. So that means, can I conclude by saying the routine tasks can be handed over to AI and the analysis and decision making should be done by the auditor? Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So that is where the role of AI comes in our day-to-day life. So what all of us, be it articles, be it the ones on the other side of the profession, we the practitioners, what we should be eyeing at this current juncture is delegate all of your routine tasks to AI and take the decisions on your end. Okay? Now let's go to the second session that we had, which was from Suprita. Suprita, you spoke about global audit firms and their best practices using AI. Now, we know that all of these AI tools are expensive.
Yeah.
And we know all of these AI tools are not very open about the privacy.
Yes.
That forces all us CAs who have client information to build our own AI tools. Do you think it is worth the investment, or do you think we have sufficient capital? If your answer is a yes, why yes? Or if it is a no, then what would be the solution? I would like your thoughts first and then I'll guide you with my thoughts there.
Sure. Like, I feel like this is the must, because in this faster moving world, we need something like audit. Because considering the inherent limitation of audit, we auditors might end up doing mistakes while doing manual samplings and all. So when there is artificial intelligence, all these side works can be done easily. So I feel this investment is worth it.
Okay, okay. Now, see how these big tech companies could do it is because they were the pioneers of the tech revolution. Think about the companies which have come up with the AI tools. They had massive amounts of data, right? Be it Google, be it even the OpenAI. They access the entire WWW, right? So they got massive sets of data which they could put into their database, and that's how they have come up with a very refined version of the tool, right? Now, as a small or a medium-sized audit firm, or you as an individual, what you can think of doing is collaborate more and more with these kind of entities or a larger firms that already has built these AI tools. For example, all of these have demonstrated that all the big fours have their own AI tools. Why don't we approach the big fours and ask them, is your tool commercially available? Can we get the licensing part of your AI tool? So that they already have the best practices, we could simply use that. Recently, ICA has also come up with an international networking guidelines, which has now opened up all the Indian CA firms to collaborate or tie up with international global firms. And I can read out a statistics for you all. Right now in India, there are only 400 firms with 10 plus partners. My point here is that if you are considering practice or entrepreneurship or anything of that sort which relates to the profession, try to collaborate more. More people means better idea. More people means sharing of risk. So that is what I leave you with this thought, that think about collaboration more and more, and that is how you can win this race. Now let me go to Nikhil. Nikhil, your talk was about the AI tools with regards to planning and risk assessment. Now, if we rely on AI tools for the planning and risk assessment part, and we become completely reliant, think of a situation where, let's think of the current situation. Imagine on 31st of July, or for this year, September 15th, Winman or any of the tax filing software crashes. Think about this for a minute. The blood will rush right now, right? We don't even have to wait till 31st of July. That is what might happen even with these AI tools. So that means if we are going to use it, how do we balance? I would like to know your thoughts on that.
Sir, I would say that if you are saying that if Winman crashes and then we don't have any thing to compute income tax automatically, then I would say that we can use AI to learn the provisions and then do it ourselves. That's the only thing that I can think of if Winman crashes one day.
Okay. So now, to avoid that kind of a panic situation, what I would encourage is always get your fundamentals right. Now, even when you have tax filing softwares, you should be confident enough to be able to do the same task without those tools. But those tools are definitely required, which will speed up the job, which will ensure there are lesser errors. But work on your fundamentals. I would like to give you this analogy that think of yourself, an individual, as a torch. Torch has 3 components. One, the battery inside. Then you have the bulb. Then you have the reflector, right? If you don't put a battery, will the bulb or the torch work? No. If your reflector is blurred, will you get the better clarity through that torch? No. What I'm trying to say is, the battery is your fundamentals. Without fundamentals, you are nothing. The reflector is how you portray yourself to the world. So once you fix the fundamentals and once you fix your confidence, the bulb is mere AI tool, mere tax filing software. So this is the approach you should follow when you use any AI tools. Don't depend on them, but use them for your benefit. Now I come to the last question, then I'll conclude my discussion on this. Chaitanya, you spoke about the financial reporting ecosystem with AI. What are your thoughts on the privacy and the data manipulation possibility when we put all of this client information into these tools?
Obviously, privacy has its own, AI has its own limitations which could be hampering the privacy and other things. So we should evaluate the AI tools first. And we should know that this is trust, and then we should implement it.
Okay. Now, my thoughts on that is that, see, let's be real. The entire AI ecosystem or the tools that we have are still not yet mature enough. That is the reason most of them are offering you a free version. Think about it for a minute, right? Why would they give such a tool for free? Right now what they are doing is they are compiling even better data model so that they can reduce the hallucination that these AI tools do. And once that happens, they would probably be charging a price for every user, or I am not the best person to judge that. But what I would want all these AI companies to do, and what should be the expectation of us users, is that every company should first define its privacy policy, and only then we will feed in our client information. We don't know, we haven't even taken the consent of clients, have we? Before uploading anything to ChatGPT or any of the tools? No. That means there is always a chance that the data has been compromised, right? So now use it as a learner. Use it for your learning purposes. Wait for the time when all of these companies will come out with a privacy policy, and that is when you can confidently make it into your firm policy and use it in the firm with full confidence. So with this, I would like to conclude with just 3 takeaways for you guys. And it's something which all of you have. Point number 1, common sense. Use your common sense everywhere. Second one, be curious. Third one, be confident. You will win the world. Thank you, Mangalore, I say, for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. It is truly inspiring to witness such clarity and depth of thought from a leading voice of next generation of professionals. We deeply value the knowledge you have shared with us today. As we conclude this enlightening session, I express my profound gratitude to our esteemed session chairperson and the paper presenters for their brilliant takeaways and the fresh perspectives. I request CA Bandwal Nitin Baliga and CA Chandrakant Rao to present the token of gratitude to our session chairperson and the presenters.